Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. Tomorrow night, the Sacramento Kings are going to tip off their 2015 and 2016 season of NBA basketball. And this is one of the first years in quite a while that I can honestly tell you that I'm looking forward to being a Sacramento Kings fan. Honestly, if you go back to just a couple of years ago, I believe that I went to the last Sacramento Kings game. I believe that the Sacramento Kings were actually going to be packing up all of their bags and moving to Seattle. And, Kevin Johnson was able to come in and able to find a way for the Sacramento Kings to stay, the Sacramento Kings to get a new arena, Sacramento Kings to get new owners. Basically, Kevin Johnson, even though right now his name is being ran through the mud. And honestly, I believe that once all is said and done in Sacramento, he said that he's not going to run for re-election, but, years down the road when people actually go through the contracts and they talk about the deal that's supposed to be coming, that they got everything all put together, I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Johnson is actually, his biggest legacy is going to be that Golden One Center in downtown Sacramento, but I wouldn't be surprised if to make a lot of those deals go through, there was a lot of sticky situations and backstage, handshakes, and I wouldn't be surprised if someday something comes out down the road that was a bad situation. But all in all, the Kings stayed, and in 2016, next year, we'll be opening up a brand new arena. I'm all for Sacramento moving forward. I honestly went down there and I walked around the arena as they're building it. It's still being put up today. I never thought that Sacramento would be able to say that they have a new state-of-the-art arena. I can remember back in, I believe, 1991 when Arco Arena opened, and yeah, that place is a dump, but that's my dump. I mean, I went to Kings games as I was a kid, and I believe that the Kings were honestly a really good basketball team, and I didn't really know a lot about basketball, and yeah, they didn't make the playoffs, but, they were in Sacramento, and that's where I lived, and that's who I was for, and, I went and saw, countless concerts and wrestling events, and, it's going to be sad to lose Arco Arena, but I mean, like, with a stadium in the middle of town, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really, really cool. The upcoming 2015-16 season for the Sacramento Kings is honestly going to be the start of a new era. I honestly do believe with this last year, George Karl coming into play, and then Vlade Divac coming in as an executive of the team, and he really didn't have a very easy offseason. Basically, the Kings made a lot of moves. They brought in a lot of new players, a lot of new faces. He had to take care of a feud on the team, which was basically one of the biggest stories on the team, which was last season. George Karl started a rumor. This is something that he denied and has finally come forward. And it is a part of putting, all the water under the bridge. He has come forward and stated that he went to the press and started a rumor of DeMarcus Cousins being traded for the Sacramento Kings. And I remember just thinking at the time, like when the rumor came out, that this was not good for the Kings. When you trade a guy like DeMarcus Cousins, yeah, there's pluses, yeah, there's minuses. Some people think that he's one of the best big men there is in the game. Some people think that he's a guy that even though he has a ton of talent, he can't keep his head in the game. Some people think that even though this guy's so good, why has he not been on a team that has not been able to win more than 30 games? But I honestly think that since DeMarcus Cousins has been here, we've been trying to build a team around DeMarcus Cousins, and I honestly can say that this is probably the best team that I've seen the Kings build. I know that, for years, the ownership just kept on saying that they were trying to build a team, but when you looked at the moves that they were making in the offseason, not really bringing in free agents and not bringing in, not bringing in the right players, the moves just were trying to have a team in the NBA. They were desperately trying behind the scenes to get out of Sacramento. But now with the owner of Vivek, things are probably moving in the right direction. We brought in Rajon Rondo. I can honestly tell you, even though that he was a free agent that not that many teams wanted, as a Sacramento Kings fan, he's probably the biggest free agent that the Kings have ever been able to sign. Sacramento has never really been a city that people have wanted to go to, but his style of basketball, I am not that huge on him coming here. It seemed like when Rajon Rondo was in Boston, they were winners. I believe his rookie season, they won the championship with him, and there was Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce. Who was the last guy on that team? The guy from Seattle, the guy from Milwaukee, the guy that was in the goddamn movie with Samuel L. Jackson and Spike Lee. We'll just move on. I can't remember the guy's name, and I'm sure I'm gonna act like an idiot the second I'm done with the video. I'll be over it, but now I can't even remember. But anyways, in Boston, it seemed like Rondo was always on the trade market. It seemed like Boston was just desperate to try and trade Rondo, whether it was to bring in draft picks and sort of reset the team, or just reset the team as a whole and not really worry about what they were going to get back. It just seemed like they were always trying to move Rajon Rondo out, and Sacramento was always one of those destination places for him to come. And he ends up going to Dallas. Dallas ends up cutting him before the playoffs because he doesn't get along with Rick Carlisle. And, if you're going into the playoffs and you get left off the roster, something's wrong. And hopefully it's not Rondo and his attitude, because we've honestly got enough attitude here with DeMarcus Cousins as it is. Last year he took huge steps forward. Cousins, made it a goal of his that he wasn't going to draw any more technical fouls, and I believe he had a goal of getting less than 3, which I don't think he made. But it was a huge step forward, because it wasn't like he was getting a technical every game, but I mean, like, he was letting his temper, being thrown out in a lot of situations. But Rondo coming here with his sort of pass first, shoot later sort of a deal is going to be really welcomed here. I mean, if you think about the team that they built around DeMarcus Cousins, with Marco Bellinelli, with Rudy Gay, we have a really good team, and especially with so many outside shooters like Bellinelli coming over from the Spurs. He's probably going to be our best three-point shooters that we've had since Peja. And with something like that, that's going to be able to space out the floor. People are going to be able to, stand out there for a long-range jumper or a three-point shot. And it's going to have less congestion down in the middle where Cousins can grab rebounds. Cousins will be open for layups. They'll be able to drive the ball to the inside because it won't be all jammed up. For so long, the Kings have been this sort of a team that has built a reputation on just being chuckers. Get the ball, chuck it up. Get the ball, chuck it up. And that's just what I thought about. But this team isn't 100%. I don't think, I don't even want to really make a prediction on this team, because they had the whole deal that Las Vegas was being flooded with bets for people taking the over, thinking that the Kings were going to win 30 games. And honestly, that's right about the point where I think they're going to be. Maybe 32 wins, somewhere in there. But the over-under, people were taking the over on 30, and Vegas had to change the odds because people were flooding the bet. And I believe they set it to 34. And that makes me a little bit weary to go over it. I don't think that this team is a playoff team, but there's a part of me, because the Kings are such a big deal to me, that I believe that they can get over that hump. Maybe this is a playoff team. It's not like the Lakers are a really great team. I think we're going to be good. I think that this team is really starting to put it together. My buddy work from that I talk about in a lot of football videos, Troy. He's the Rams fan. We're going to be going over to his house tomorrow. We're going to watch the Clippers game. We're going to eat chili dogs. It's going to be a good day. We're going to see what this Kings team has to offer. I'm not going to promise playoffs. I hope for playoffs. Maybe we can get to 500 basketball. That seems like a huge jump for this team. But, think of the talent that we have on this team, whether if it's, Bellinelli coming in, whether if it's Rudy Gay, whether if it's DeMarcus Cousins, Rajon Rondo. We have the basis of a really good team. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on Cauley-Stein coming in. We drafted him from Kentucky. You know, where he fits in to the piece of the pie. You know, we've already got Cousins. I don't know if we're moving him over to power forward. But we've got Costa Kustov, who's just came in. I believe he came in from the Jazz. He's going to be seeing playing time, so I don't know if Cauley-Stein is just going to be in this sort of role where sit and watch or what's going to be going on. But I'm looking forward to the Kings making big steps forward in this season and seeing where this puts us when we move into our new home next year. So good times for the Kings. Let's get a win over the Clippers and let's start the season off right.